The second example that we're going to look at is considerably harder than the last one. I have here 4x squared y cubed, and that's all outside quite a complicated expression in the brackets here. I've got a 1 on 2x, take away 5x cubed y to the 7. Even though this looks quite complicated though, we can still apply our rules one at a time and deal with what comes out one step after the other. And with any maths problem, don't get scared off by complicated looking expressions. Each part still follows the same basic rules, even if it just looks a bit messier. So the rule here says I've got something outside a set of brackets and I want to expand them. I'm going to multiply that by each term in the brackets. The multiplications are just going to be a little bit more difficult. So if multiplying these in your head is daunting, don't do it. Don't try and write the answer straight away. Just write what we need to do next. We need to take this thing outside the brackets and multiply it by that first term in the brackets. Then, okay, what's next? I've got to take this first thing and multiply it by the second term in the bracket, and this negative sign, remember, belongs to this term. In the previous example, I just jumped on ahead and said, well, it's a negative times a positive, and I put the negative sign here. That's okay if you're all right with that. If you're not sure though, put a plus, because this plus comes from that term there. There's a plus out there that we don't write. And I've written the negative with the second term. And the next step, that will turn into a minus because we'll have a positive times a negative. All right, I'm going to concentrate just on this left side, this left term. Simplify it as far as possible. Then I'm going to come back and simplify this one. And I'm just going to make sure that looks like a 7 there. Okay. Here we have something timesed by a fraction. And if you're confused by that, and there's messy algebra, just pick something that's not an algebraic expression and work out what would happen there. If I did 3 times a quarter, what would the result be? Most people see pretty quickly that that's going to be 3/4. Okay, what have I done there? I've done the 3 times the 1. The 4 stays the same. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 stays the same. I'm going to do exactly the same here. 4x squared y cubed times that 1 is just going to be 4x squared y cubed. Just like 3 times 1 was 3. 4x squared y cubed times 1 is 4x squared y cubed. It looks messy, but it's following the same rules as basic numbers. On the bottom, that 4 from the quarter stayed the same, so the 2x is going to stay the same. Let's finish tidying this up. There's an x squared on the top and an x on the bottom. This is a division. Okay, x squared on x to the 1. We subtract the powers, remember. 2 take away 1 is 1. So I get x to the 1. That's x. That's index law number 2. So my x's are going to cancel out. I'm only going to have an x on the top. The one on the bottom is going to disappear. So this one's going to disappear, and that's going to be a 1 instead. Or, in fact, just an x, so I don't need to write that 1 at all. Having a look here, 4 divided by 2. What's 4 divided by 2? That's just 2. So that 2 is going to cancel out with that one, and it's going to turn into a 2. So my final result for this term is going to be 2xy cubed. Looking at the second expression, I'll get rid of that there. Positive times a negative is a negative. So this is going to become a negative, and I've got 4x squared y cubed times 5x cubed y7. That negative I just brought out the front. This is algebra. This is multiplication. And so I can change the order. So I'm going to put my pronumerals first. Then I'm going to put all my x's. Then I'm going to put my y's. Tidying that up. What am I going to get? 4 times 5 is 20. X squared times x cubed is x to the 5. Y cubed times y to the 7 is y to the 10. These two here are just my index law number 1. And here I have my final result of that expression fully expanded. I've now written it without the brackets.